Our species was matriarchal for hundreds of thousands of years. We were low libido. Sex was just something that was for reproduction, and we really assigned a lot of meaning and weight and consequence to it. Not all of this cynicism and casual sex and superficiality that we see today. Matriarchy is actually about minimalism. It's about meaning and purpose. Matriarchal myths are about guarding sexuality instead of indulging it. The Vestal Virgins, Virgin Mary, Hestia, Artemis, these were goddesses associated with chastity and kind of protection from male intrusion. For millions of years, sex was considered consequential, and patriarchal myths don't reflect that. Patriarchal myths just emphasize female sexuality. Esther, for example, in the Bible was venerated for trading her body to make political bargains. Patriarchy encourages fertility, multiple wives, be fruitful and multiply, whereas matriarchy says withdraw, protect, carve out and enforce sacred boundaries. Our myths today don't need updating so much as they need backdating. We need to go back to the relative asexuality of our past, to the time before porn and birth control, back when sex was more respected and women were more respected. And sex was also feared because it was morally charged. We think now of sex as just kind of a genital sneeze. We've divorced sex from reverence and healthy trepidation. Women have retained certain private fears about sex, and between the two genders, women do respect sex more, and respect in a lot of languages is synonymous with fear. Women have a fear towards sex. Gorilla moms weigh 200 pounds and give birth to 3-pound babies, but human moms often don't weigh more than 100 pounds themselves, and they give birth to 8, 9, 10-pound babies. If you think that that's not factoring into our psychology and our sexuality, you're wrong. Like, modern medical technologies, C-sections and epidurals will not erase for women these ancestral fears that we've been carrying around for 7 million years since we diverged from chimps about parturition and gestation. This stuff is terrifying and was the leading cause of death among otherwise healthy young women for millions of years. You can't just decouple those negative feelings that we associate with gestation and parturition, and also with just simple sex, simple penetration. Women are encouraged now to wield their sexuality and use their sexuality to barter for things in this patriarchal system, but it's all performative. If you look under the hood, women still associate sex with mangling and mistreatment and mortality. In my opinion, that's why so many women are into BDSM, 50 Shades of Grey. It's a form of voluntary exposure therapy, right? Women aren't willing to be handled roughly because they think it's optimal. They submit to it because it strikes them as realistic. And exposure to inevitabilities often helps equip you to confront certain terrible, hard realities head on. Pregnancy, childbirth, abandonment, coercion, and asymmetrical caregiving are not abstract historical concepts for women. They are deeply woven into female psychology in ways that affect our sexual experience. All of the anxieties orbiting these issues are front and center for us. And then men wonder why it's taking us so long in the bedroom, right? The ace community distinguishes between allosexuals and asexuals. I would argue that the only true allosexuals are men, because men associate sex just with fun. You guys don't bear the fallout of any of this. It's women who associate sex with trauma. Women generally already fall somewhere on the asexual spectrum just because of our ancestral baggage. We need to revive ancient matriarchal myths that gave vent to sexual apprehension. It is valid to be sexually apprehensive, and women deserve to exist outside of male appetite and outside of the demand to perform desirability for men. I think a female ace community would return us to a really nice, noble celibacy, one that venerates personhood and substance instead of shallowness and sexual spectacle. Patriarchy has commodified femaleness and dismissed the deep emotions that women feel towards sexuality. It's time we bring back safe spaces for women, and I think maybe that will start with safer myths.